Hello and welcome. It is Saturday, 6 September 2025. I'm starting a brand new show tonight. Well, it's not a brand new show, but it's a new show the way we're going to present it and the day that it's going to be on. And it's going to be hosted by Roger Hansen. So, the show is going to be called the all new, Cafe Enigma. Hope everybody's up there and out there ready and waiting for us. We're getting everything set up right now. And we're going to get it all going in no time. Hope everybody had a great week. And their weekend is going great as well. Going to get Roger up and rolling here in just a minute. So just wait. We'll have him going. Get that BitChute up and rolling here in just a sec. Having some issues with some of the platforms, but always to be expected. You never know what's going to happen on the all-new Cafe Enigma. As soon as I get it up and going, I will connect up with Sir Roger Hansen, and we will make sure that this is up and rolling with no problems or hassles at all and be like the pros that we are. There we go. Let me call Roger up. Hey Roger, how you doing tonight?
Hello. I got everything set up and ready to go.
Yep, I'm kind of rolling along right now too. Had some issues with connections earlier, but yeah, I got it all worked out now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I I got everything on my end straightened out, ready to go. So just tell me where you want me to go and I'm ready to do it.
Yeah. You know, like I was saying earlier in chat, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to what I'm going to do is I'll talk to you up until about 2 or 3 minutes before we head over to the main room. That
Okay.
way I can get that, we can get all settled in and set up there. And then once we do that, you'll have up until the first break is going to be, since we're going to not have a clip tonight, there wouldn't be a break in the first hour due to the clip. All right.
Okay.
Uh, Normally, but tonight, since it's meet and greet night,
Yep.
it's we are going to do a break at the 20-minute mark.
Okay.
So just keep an eye out for me on that.
We can do that. I've actually incorporated that. I did a little bit of an outline for myself, so I incorporated. I didn't know the exact timing and everything,
Yeah.
but I have that to where I'm gonna have it right in front of me. You know what I mean? To
Yep.
where I can keep track.
MC
So
Dirty Work in the YouTube channel. Hey, and he's probably over on D Live too. Do you need the link or do you have the link already? It's just me and Roger for this part, but we'll get you situated and add you in later on for when we start the group call. Let me know. I should have already given you that, I think, already.
mhm. I also um I've met this cool dude, man, and we've been talking on Teams. Okay, I don't know if Sonya's told you about him, but his name's Jahan,
N-
and
I haven't. I don't
I
know
added
anything about him.
I added him to the Cafe Enigma too, and there's a chance he might be able to come in too. This is a pretty cool guy. I mean,
That
I've been talking to him for a
yeah,
couple
that's great
times.
because it's a whole new outlook on the show and way we're going to do things. We are going to be on two of the internet stations tonight
Okay.
because I take and manage those stations, so I'm going to get those up and out for us. But
Okay.
before we take and get going here, let me do some stuff over here in OBS. Make sure we're all good.
Okay.
Do Roger Hansen. Oh, no, wrong. Teams. That's the one. There we go.
I love
And and take the standby banner out so that it's you and me there for now, and then I'll start up the next call at the top of the hour with the Caffeine Enigma group. We'll do a countdown. I'll do countdowns just like I do with the other shows, and I know that you know how that
hmm
works.
Yeah.
So this should be a pretty good show for a start show. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm hoping David can come in too tonight as well.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Yeah.
That would be that. I mean, be honest, man. I really miss
Yep.
having him talking as much as what he used to. It just that I think the show's losing more with him not talking rather than sitting in the back and not saying nothing. You know, just my personal take on it. I love having conversations with Dave. Oh, is there something?
Yeah. Nancy was asking if there's any other broadcast links besides that. Oh, and yeah, we will go out on since it's the only there's only two stations that I manage. Pyramid One, what is it? Studio B and Studio C is
hmm
where it will go out to audio wise for the internet radio broadcast. But looks like Sonya made it in too, and
Yep. Jahan.
Jahan. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. Um, we'll get that all settled um, and worked out. I have your breaks. Your first break will be roughly about 5 minutes long. So
Okay.
it'd probably be good, you know, to kind of, talk about where you want to go with the group. You know,
Yeah.
if
Now I
right off
want
the
to do.
bat, and then
Yeah.
introduce them when we come back from the break.
Now on the introductions, whenever we were doing going to do the introductions, I was hoping to maybe get into like reminiscing, you know what I mean? And then after we've gotten through all that, do like a dedication with uh I keep saying
To
JD, right?
to my era and
Yeah.
the Nancy
Oh yeah.
reboot.
Most yeah, and Nancy, I'm glad she's going to be in there because freaking I was debating on that because I really wanted her to say some stuff too because I was able to listen to her archive
Yeah. Well,
stuff.
she like I said, she was original member of the group.
hmm It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
JC
and
Johnson
David. Well,
too.
that's what we were talking about, David. We were talking about you. I know he's listening to us. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. He don't. He, David's a tool, man. He's everywhere. Oh, David, I hope you're going to be the time guy tonight. All right, help him out with the time. The same breaks for times will be the same breaks for Nancy's show on Sunday nights.
As a matter
I
of fact,
believe, basically.
as a matter of fact, man, if he wants to come into the prep time, have him come in because freaking I'd love to have him right here with us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That way we
Well,
can get
just
it.
go ahead and add him in then.
Okay.
You can add him.
Okay.
I'm still for some. Oh, Nancy says let's rock out. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Hold on here, Nancy. I'm gonna try to bring back the video stream here on Telegram.
Okay. So in the search thing, how do I pull him up to where he's in there?
There it is. He okay. If all else fails, he might be under David Champ. You know that. So,
Okay. Yeah. Dave Campion is what I gotta
yeah,
type
you'll
in
see him in
there.
green. Yeah,
Okay.
it's David Campion. David Campion. He's in green. He's got the shield, the white shield with DC on it.
I just didn't realize how many
Yeah, Mayan
people
cow.
I have on my thing, man. Oh, it's got us in a new conversation now.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says you're starting a new conversation.
Yeah, it will. That's fine.
Okay.
And then we'll go over there, and it'll
Okay.
No.
There we go. There we go. No, the one he's on, that's the one with his face and everything on it, right? It's not the one that's just an avatar.
No, it's the avatar one. That's the one David's on right now. You'll see the green dot by him.
Okay, let me go in and double check. Make sure I got the right one. Oh, DC. Oh,
See it?
yeah, the one with just DC. I gotta add them to it. That's messed up. All these avatars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's how it goes.
We gotta pay our dues. That's what it's about. All these frustrating, aggravating
Let me see if I
dudes.
can add him in from here real quick. Might be easier for me.
Probably would be. Yeah, because it doesn't have like a green.
No, for some reason, I guess it didn't bring him up over here in our. But in the future, in the future, I will have a pre-show special for this. Okay, just to let everybody know, and it'll be pre-show, after show. We'll use the same one for the pre-show and as in the after show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because by the time we get back over here, everything will be, all cleared out anyways. Roger, if you want, you can use your camera. That's fine. Oops.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yeah, I know.
minimize
I
it.
mean, I was kind of debating on that too. I didn't know if everybody could handle my sexiness and my beautiful
Your
fatigue.
sexiness. Oh my
You know it.
God. Get
You
out
blow-
of here, buddy.
I blow them away with a sexy voice. You imagine what happened if you seen my face? Oh, he's there. He is in the room. So we got that. Dave's there.
Okay.
Go, Dave Capione.
Go, David. Go, David.
Go, David. Go, David.
David's a pro in this. You know that, right?
I see. I'm happy with that because now I can actually talk to him more. I'm sick of not being able to talk to Dave, man. So you
No, I get I keep getting this David Campione OTO, and that when I try to bring him up. I don't know, but
Well, he's in the group now. I'm gonna tag you. That way you know where we're at.
well, we're gonna get it all started up here pretty soon, anyways.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's just go over format a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
We need to, you need to take and do your break at the 25-minute mark.
25
Okay.
minute mark.
Yeah. And then you can do it a little bit before or a little bit after. Try not to do it more than a minute, all right?
Okay.
Because it messes the stations up later for their timing. And or they won't, when we do start getting numbers all over and they start scouting the show again, for terrestrial side, they'll want us to be, right on point with those break times. Every time that you don't make your break time, that's a strike against you. All right.
Okay.
It's not as bad as a language strike. All right. With the cursing and swearing, but it is a strike against you as far as how they look at the ability to pick you up normally as a regular show. Even if it's kind of for a filler for them in some respects. But either way, this is a good time, and hopefully we'll get, 5-6 months down the road, we'll get some, intel about, hey, we like the show, you've been picked up.
That's cool.
What is it, AM or FM? And then I'll just get that. I won't get any call numbers or letters or anything like that, or what the station's names are. I don't want to know those because, it's like anything else. You mentioned my station first, that station first, and we're in competition, blah blah blah. Yeah. Well, we have the X amount of numbers and they don't, or the other way around. I'm like, yeah, right. Well, anyways, the whole thing about this is just getting the show out, as much and as far as possible. That's always been what's going on. Ox 5 in the kick chat. Appreciate you, buddy. Roger, if anybody is out there that is a moderator, please give shouts so that I can take and pin them up, or acknowledge them. But when we're on air, we can't do that because stations get a little, as far as like the other platforms and that go. They get a little upset. We're mentioning someone over another. It's kind of like the radio station pissing contest.
Don't do no shout outs then, but
we can do shout outs on our break time. And that's a good thing. I like that. Hey, am I coming in too loud or?
No, you're coming in fine on mine, but I'm wearing these headphones, so my audio isn't necessarily.
Oh, you sound really good. I mean,
okay.
That's good.
Now, I do have a camera available. I turn the light on. I was debating on if I wanted to do it. Because, I could do it to where if anybody wants to see my beautiful, sexy face, they have to come and see it at Cafe Enigma.
Sonia says Roger is sexy.
She knows it.
Rumble.
She knows it. She told me that the last time when she was really drunk. She goes, Roger,
when she was so drunk,
sexy.
Well,
yeah.
See that's the key. Do
drunk
we believe?
Chicks love
do we
me,
always?
Dude.
Do we always believe people that are?
Dude, I don't know what it is. Drunk chicks love me. I don't know what the deal is.
And you know what? And you ever heard that song? She said.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You know what it was? What I woke up was in line next to me inside of my bed, and you know what she said? What she said? I'm getting to that. What did she say? She said, "Ooh, ee, ooh." That's a great Cramps tune. I'll put that in sometime. But your breaks are going to be pretty cool, and I'm sure you're going to like them. And yeah, I did put the for the midway break the
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise song in, Faith of the
Okay.
Heart. You know, because
Yeah.
that's a blast from the past.
Well, I know that. I mean, every time I was listening to those archived ones, man, I was like, "Wow, dude! Like you put them in a lot of them." So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's big. Now, Mark or Dave wants to know what the breaks are for the show. I told him the
20. It's going to be 20, 5
20,
till, and then
okay,
40-minute mark. And then,
25 till, and then the 40-minute mark.
right. And then when we come back at the 45-minute mark, all we have to do is kind of wrap up, do it real quick, and then make sure you get everybody's information out. And we have to end by 5 till. Okay? Because there's a buffer file for the end of the show, and that goes out
Okay.
on the air too. Okay?
Okay. So this is
So,
going to be a 1 hour show?
no, it's a 2-hour show.
Okay. Okay.
All right?
Okay. So we're going to have 25 minutes in the second hour as well. And
No,
then,
no, no. You'll get
oh,
you'll
okay.
get you'll get 35 minutes, and then you have like another 12 when we come back from break. But the 12 when you come back from break will be a recap and get that information out. And the bigger your crew is tonight, the more time you'll need for that. Make sure everybody gives out everything that they can. You
Yeah.
know,
Now, I've been noticing too that Nancy kind of gets into that whenever she starts hitting the 3 minute mark.
but
When
Nancy's been doing this for a lot longer than you.
well, I mean, I know
Yeah,
that, but
but once
like
you,
it's
but yeah, and then she doesn't get everybody in always, but most of the time she does. And
yeah.
if Nancy, if you're listening, please drop Raph in too, because he's come in a bunch of times as well on Cafe Enigma in the past. Um, I think that would be good. Um, man, if let me know when you do when you want to do Crystal Skulls, and I'll get Joshua Shapiro in.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be real cool. Now, the only thing that I have a problem with when it comes to the crystal skulls is they scare me.
Well, you can tell him that, and he can tell you why, and you
Well, I
know
mean, they look at me funny.
they look at you funny.
They say really strange things to me that I just oh, I need to stop that. I got to be professional tonight.
Yeah, you
I'm
better
sorry.
start. Yeah, you bet. Yeah. What
Sorry.
happened? What happened to your camera and your picture?
Well,
There it is. There we go.
am I popping up?
Now, now
Are
you
you?
are. You before you were like didn't have like any kind of picture up there at all, and then it said, you know, now your picture's back.
Okay, good. Good. Now I have to put my face up there if I can. I don't know if
You,
it'll.
it's up there. I mean, if you want to, you can go into the camera and go down through, and you'll see backgrounds, and you can just
Hmm.
put the background up, and that's kind of cool too.
Yeah. Well, I could actually like just put my actual face on there, but I, the whole the whole thing with my webcam is it's not really all that great. You know what I mean?
Well,
So.
when I got mine, I got a cheapo, but hey, I'm an audio guy first, you know.
Hmm. Exactly. That's the way I've always been, and it kind of messes everything
All
up.
right. Man, big group over in, well, not super big, but coming there. MC Dirty Work gave us a host over in D Live, and we got a bunch of folks over there, about 15 viewers in D Live already, and that's great. We're building up. We got about 12 to 14 in Kick here and there, and I'm sure that's going to grow as we go.
Yeah.
Especially, when Mark comes in there and starts flicking his hair around.
Well, yeah, that's the clincher, dude. When we get freaking like a sexy British dude that comes in and starts flaunting his shit, we're on top, dude.
Yeah, that's when you know that it's all going to hell, right?
Yeah, it's like, but dude, I got him real good. I got him real good the other day. Freaking, we were talking politics, and he wanted to talk about Pill from England,
Okay.
and he thought I was going to be all rebellious and stuff, and I did like a switch on him, and by the end of the show, he didn't know what to think. He was,
Yeah. Mark's over in Rumble listening to us. Goes, me flicking and flaunting?
he
Yeah,
knows it's true.
yeah, guys. If I know our crew is really patient, and they're patiently waiting for me to connect with them. It's going to be another 5 minutes so that we don't run out of time for the breaks. All right, because with this we only get like 1 hour on a session with this, and it sounds really crappy if you have to take and split it up in the middle of a show, especially when you're supposed to be live on the radio side.
Hmm.
So we're going to do this and make it sound as professional and great as possible. Yes, you flaunting, Mr. Edwardy.
He is ready to. You can tell when he's fired up because that's when he starts talking crazy stuff.
And I love it, especially, I know Roger's not a big fan of it, but I love it when people drop emotes in my chats. So if you're there, please drop some emotes. Let us know you're there. And, the topics might not always be your thing, but, you might have a favorite person on the panel here come soon. Or someone you really like. Drop those emotes and let us know that you're there and live, or at least watching, to see if one of your favorite people come up with the topics.
Right.
Yeah.
Now with me, it's not that well, yeah, I guess I don't like them in a sense, but it's just I don't understand them. Like they have all
Yeah.
these weird looking little faces and stuff, and I guess they got like meanings that go with them and
Yeah, they
stuff.
do. Yeah, meanings.
Like I'm
Yeah.
like, my God, dude, seriously, give me a
I
break.
got
Now I
some that
gotta.
I got some that say lurk. I got some that say, let's go. I got some that say, also, and hype. Let's get this show going, or thumbs up, like it, like what you're seeing, hearing. You know, that's
Well,
uh, it's
like,
something.
they got
It,
they
it,
got
it
code words
it's
too.
it's really something that we don't get on the radio side, and
Mm-hmm.
it's an input uh, that lets us know that not only that you're there, but hey, you got some cool stuff. Maybe and I love to steal emotes too.
Oh,
Don't tell nobody.
okay,
You
okay.
can only find them on, when I spam them on everybody else's uh, channels that I really like, because you know I might not like some of the cool um, well, the games, but I do like the people and how the people present them, and there's lots of great folks out there that make even a game that I'm not even interested in entertaining, and you get that real quick with that. In about 2 minutes here, we're going to switch on over. Roger, are you all set and ready?
Yeah, it looks like I am. I have not been able to fully understand how to handle this camera thing. So
what hammer thing?
No, my camera.
Oh, the camera. Don't worry about it. We got the you got your picture of your shiny bald head like mine up there. Because baldness is a sure sign of wisdom. But don't let Nancy tell you otherwise. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I know. She constantly tells me about that, about my bald head, like all the time. She's just really mean to me all the time.
Nancy? Well, no.
Yeah. She's a tough boss to freaking.
Yeah. On that cafe, not Cafe Enigma, but on that Vixen's Vault, she's got the vault locked down at times. Yeah, and it's good. It's fun.
She tells me that if I speak out of turn, she's going to hit me profusely again.
For what?
Yeah, she says she's going to hit me profusely.
Profusely. Profusely.
Across the forehead and around the neck region.
Oh, man. Well, at least she didn't say that she was going to take and clothesline you or cack you. But anyways...
That was the last time.
That was just the last time. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
last time.
I'm gonna get us. We're pretty close now. Remember, we gotta. I'll help you out and remind you on breaks. All right. I'm gonna take in. Go ahead and hang up here, and I'm gonna switch us over, and we'll get on and start this new show. That's not so new, but with you and the rest of the crew. I'll see you over there, Roger.
Okay.
All right. Making that call now. All right, I'm going to make this call to the rest of the group. Roger, Mark, Nancy, Sonia, Vicky, David Campione, and I haven't seen Jason yet. Hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
All right.
Vicky, there's Dave.
Hey, Nancy. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Mark. Hey, Roger.
Hey, Roger.
Hey,
Mark.
Roger. Hey, Roger. You know, this is really great. You got all new people on here.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. We are
That's all
on
2.0,
fire, man.
That's right.
Oh, boy.
There's Mark Airworthy. How you doing, Mark?
All right, everybody's sound levels are good. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna start the buffer file, and we're gonna get this rolling.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, here's Sonia. Sonia's in.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. See, we got all of them. We got the veterans in here too.
All right, Roger.
No.
Roger, if you're all set, I'm gonna get you rolling. I'm gonna slide you in. You're gonna have 30 seconds as of this moment to start us out and get us going. All right.
Okay. Just let me know.
I'm trying to get Jason. I'll keep trying to get Jason in with us as we go.
Cool.
And I did have my camera set up. I don't know if I can get it started.
Okay,
or not.
here's your countdown, Roger. All right, don't go too far with that. All right.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Roger, you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cafe Enigma, where mysteries linger at the edge of science and imagination. Tonight, we're celebrating the opening once again of Cafe Enigma. We will start the first episode without a topic. This is a time to reunite, reflect on past episodes of Cafe Enigma, and share experiences, as well as meet new people to the show and get to know them too. So with that being said, we first have to take a look and understand Cafe Enigma. We have to look at its history and listen to people's stories and experiences to previous shows. And what was it like before on Cafe Enigma? So with that being said, I'm going to get into introducing our panel for tonight. Tonight we have with us, starting out, Sonia Galactic, or Galactech, not Galactic, Galactech with an E. T-E-C instead of T-I-C. As well as her, we have Nancy Planeta from the Vixen's Vault, as well as David Capione. And,
hello.
And we also have Vicky Voss, who is here with us. And we have a newcomer to the show, which is Jahan Satur. Welcome to the show, Jahan. And with that being said, I am wanting to open this up to the panel members so that we can have them give a little bit of background about themselves. Now, with that, so who first would like to do it? I really don't like the idea of having to pick somebody. Who would like to go first and give a little bit of background about themselves?
I suppose I suppose I'll go first.
Okay.
The reason why I'll go first is because I created Cafe Enigma originally, and it ran for about 10.5 years under my my tutelage. As I created it, I produced it, I hosted it, moderated it, and I don't like the word host for the show that I did. It's more of a moderator, kind of like just kind of steering the topics. And we had a lot of different topics. But before I even started the show, I took about a year and a half to figure out how to make this show and what I needed to do to create a show that was going to be legacy and get me places and meet and talk to interesting people about interesting and not so always how would you call it, common topics of the time or the day. Some of the topics were fringe. In fact, a lot of them were, So, that's kind of how Cafe Enigma started. I looked at shows like, 60 Minutes. I looked at shows like The Lear Report on PBS and Meet the Press. And I said, a group of people with different ideas from different places and different specialties. What better kind of show could you put them in than to introduce them to a topic and then kind of like, what do you guys think of this? And then some people were familiar with the topics, others weren't, but everybody has something to say about the topic, whether they wanted to or not. they could, some of them were like, yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, or oh yeah, that topic was great. I know all about this, that. I know some scientists, or this, that, and the other, connected with it. And thankfully, when I got connected, I had been working with Nancy Planetta, who was a core member of the original show. And Nancy brought me a lot of folks from her group that we had in on that show as well. People like Peter Robbins to Scotty Roberts was on it many times, and she could probably tell you, so many more people that been on the show, and the topics that we talked about, because 10 years, 10 and a half years was a long time for a radio show to go on. And, towards the end, I started getting a little burnout, and I started looking at trying to find people who would fill my shoes, yet, for speaking, because I wanted to get a little bit of, I loved the show, and I wanted to take and keep it going, but I just didn't have it in me to do the topic and the, make the connections with the people anymore. I wanted to do more of the production work where I'm at right now. And I've been doing, production and engineering and syndication and all that for a lot longer than I've done all the other shows and things with those shows. But that's the part that I love the most. And that's why I continue to do all this. And now, I've kind of recruited, and we found, I had some promising people, but I'm a stickler when it comes to format, and Nancy will tell you that too. It's like because format with radio is everything. And if you can keep to that format and it's solid, you'll have a show for a long time that people will come into. And even if they don't listen to you for like a month or 2 or 3, they can always come back and be like, oh yeah, that was a great show. How did I miss that? And then they'll start going through the archives and catching back up. And that's really what it's about. But I'm going to turn the rest of it over to Nancy, because I know she wanted to probably pop in here real quick too.
Oh yeah.
You're killing me, Mark. You're killing me.
I love you too. I mean, okay. I love all my hosts. I platonically, I really do. All my hosts, no matter what show that we've ever done, are like my super closest friends in the world. We might not always see eye to eye, but it's like the shows that we do. We always connect in the end, and we move on, and we help each other, and that's what kind of, I guess, what Roger wants us to do tonight. Make the next step and get this going again.
Bring the dream back to life.
In essence, in essence, I think it is that. I mean, it's a family. You built a network of family. And that is not easy to do, especially not in entertainment. It is not easy. There's always egos involved. There's always intelligence involved. There's politics involved. Personal issues get involved. It's very hard to find a circle that you don't lose pieces and it doesn't get malformed. And that's kind of what happened with Dragus Productions. Mark was able to form a circle that has stayed pretty well gelled. I mean, it's pretty gelled. I know David has been with us forever. Roger, you've been with us for a while. It's just phenomenal. I can name multiple hosts that are still working with Mark that started out years and years and years ago. And that is a tribute to you, Mark. I mean, you've done a good job trying to keep everybody together. and you have a lot of conflicting personalities, which is never simple, and a lot of very, very intelligent people, which makes it even harder because we tend to be very monovisioned. But that being said, I had the honor of hosting Cafe Enigma for several years. Mark had asked me to take it on when I was getting ready to jump back into radio. I had taken a sabbatical from radio during the COVID time span, mainly because it was just, things were just too erratic. And very honestly, it was just too inflammatory. People were angry. Keeping to a subject matter that went on to the fringe could get you fried or get you cooked or get you in trouble. So it was just, I needed the break. I took the break, and what brought me back was Mark, because he wanted to actually revive Cafe Enigma. Now, the fun part is that when we revived it, it was not, my format for my show, because I've had the Vixen's Vault for over 20 years, which is the show that is on Dragus Networks. That format differs from the way Cafe Enigma was run. And I had a co-host with me, and it was very hard to try to keep to what Mark wanted. Sadly, very hard. And I will take fault in that too, because again, hosts are hosts are hosts. We have our own styles. We have our own ways of doing things. And I can tell you, even on the Vault, it's funny as heck, because pretty much all the players you're seeing or listening to here are also on the Vixen's Vault as part of my panel. And we can start with a subject. I mean, I actually had an agenda last week. I am not joking. I worked on an agenda for my show to try to keep it circled to where I needed it. And nope, we were off in 5,000 different directions. But that actually it makes it it's kind of the allure to the show. I know I've talked to friends of mine who listen to it after the fact and say, it's one of the most interesting shows because you've got so many different opinions. And Roger, I got to tell you, it's hysterical because your name gets brought up quite a bit, because you're like that voice out of nowhere that comes up with something that's like completely outside the box. And my reaction to it usually cracks everybody up because you never faze me. You couldn't faze me if you wanted to. You give me a lot of really great punchlines. We'll put it that way. It's lots of fun. But again, the idea of Cafe Enigma was to create, it was to stir people's creativity, I think, in many ways. It was to get people to go a little bit outside the box, to let their imagination free a little bit. And I commend Mark for that, because that, again, is not an easy thing to do with any type of radio, even television outlet. It is not easy to do. And it's definitely not easy to do for over a decade. Truly, it's not. With that being said, I cannot think of a better person to host the new rebooted Cafe Enigma than Roger. I mean, Roger Hansen, I've known him quite a bit now. He's always thoroughly enjoyable to have on my show, even though he doesn't think so sometimes. He's brilliant. And he is probably one of the most innovative thinkers I've ever met. Honest to God, he will surprise y'all. I know he sounds real casual and calm, but trust me, you get him into a subject and he will go 90 miles deep before you could even blink your eyes. I mean, he's all the way back in, pre-Babylonian time periods, naming off gods, goddesses, and ether and everything else while you're going, what? Wait, when do we go there? Hold on, wait. So again, perfect for this genre, perfect for this show. And I'm honored to be on this panel tonight. Truly honored to have been asked to be here.
Okay, so now we have to pick between David Capione and Rafael Martinez. Which one of you two want to go first so that we can kind of get a little bit of information from you guys?
Go ahead, Rafi.
Dave, you go first.
Okay. Okay. My name's David Campione. I got involved with Cafe Enigma, I don't know, 9 years ago. I put out a UFO manual that my father was involved with. I grew up about flying saucers and UFOs, that's what I'm calling them, spacecraft, and ET, extraterrestrial spacecraft. I don't care what the government says. They're not UAPs or nothing. They are unidentified. Most of them are. Some of them are identified. And anyway, when I put out the manual, I was on LinkedIn, and I was promoting it, and I would scroll down. I don't know if anybody has been on LinkedIn, and I was just looking for radio shows or anything new that would accept my information that I have, and plus my book. And Mark Wachashek, he said, "Well, come on at Cafe Enigma." So I've been hanging in there for 9 years, and or at least 9 years. I don't even know how many years it's been, and I have quite a bit of experience with flying saucers, and because my dad was a researcher, and I've seen 13 of them in my lifetime, actually 14 now. Yeah, because I believe I've met two ETs, human beings, none of this Hollywood crap, which the CIA funds, and they don't want anybody to contact the ETs. So because they want to control us, they want to control everything, all our thoughts and all our visual information. And but my dad, I started learning. He took a show on the road back in New Jersey. He in the late 60s, 70s, and then in the 80s. But he lost his eyesight. He was a factory worker at E.J. Budd Company. He used to cut sheet metal for the stainless steel trains, and some of them, I guess, are still running from back in the 50s and 60s. They're still on the tracks, and he just liked the machine, the metal. He was a metal worker. Anyway, he had an industrial accident where he cut part of his thumb off, and as he was laying there in the operating room within this huge factory, the operating lamp dropped down on, hit him in the head, and it took 7 years for him to lose his eyesight. He lost 90% of it. So I used to drive him to he was able to do his lectures, and I would take him to his lectures, and he would give the lectures. I'd run the slide projector. Some of you may not know, there were color slides, and there were projectors where you would project on a little screen with lenticular lines. And anyway, I picked up a lot of his information over the years. And then when he passed on, I decided I was going to make a video, and which was a VHS. I don't know how many people are listening that know what a VHS is, but I think this panel knows. And I sent it. I had a friend of mine in the Edit Center in West Palm Beach, and he put it together for me. And all I did was the dialogue, and he incorporated everything. And then I sent the VHS tape off to a Las Vegas UFO convention in 1992. And it was 59 minutes, the whole documentary. And it was part of this, it was mostly all about the slide presentation. And I won the award for the best documentary in the world at that time in 92. And I got a little EBE award, Extraterrestrial Biological Entity Award, which is the weirdo award. But I still love it. I still have it. And I still see, I haven't seen anything lately other than when I was photographing the rocket ships that go up off of Cape Canaveral. And it was the SpaceX, the first one, the SpaceX, right after, it was a few days after, and Nancy knows because they watch them, and Rafi. And it was a couple of days after the Artemis went up. It was in January, about a year and a half ago. And then when I was photographing, I have long lenses because I do a lot of wildlife photography. And then when I put it on my computer, and I said, well, why is there a star in there? I mean, I've never recorded stars, and it was motionless because everything moves. I mean, you need an equatorial mount to really get good astronomical stars. So I kept on enlarging it, and it looks like a flying there's a saucer sitting there. Well, there's a craft with headlights sitting up in this, watching this rocket ship go off. And I had talked to somebody about it, and they said, yeah, well, Elon was probably up on it when he was probably on the craft watching it. So that's my expertise, and I've been around this for even doing work for the CIA in the early 70s. So that's somewhat about my background, and I have a pretty good knowledge of the real ETs, not the stuff that you see in the movies and on TV and X-Files and everything, which I like. I like the X-Files. So that's all for right now, and I'll pass it along to Rafi.
Now, before,
Hi. So,
hold on, Rafi. Before we
Go
get to go, I believe we're coming up close on the first commercial break. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't.
You got
even-
about
yeah.
2 more minutes. Keep going, but make it quick, Raph.
no,
no problem. No problem. So basically, I got involved into podcasting with Nancy, but I had a different reason. I was just waking up to what's happening and the conspiracies, and I started digging, and once I started pulling that thread, I just couldn't stop. And so here we are. I think our first air time together was 10 years ago at least. But it's been a hell of a ride. I've learned a lot, and it's just I don't think we're close to done with learning everything we need to learn.
well,
Go
we have less than 2 minutes now before we have to go to our break. Now, what I want to do, because it was towards the end where Raph, you were talking, so I want to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'd like to hear a little bit more from you, because we've had a really good conversation here, and I want to continue it. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I hope everybody has enjoyed what we've been discussing, and we will be back, and everybody on this panel will have a chance to tell their stories. So with that, I'm going to take us out to a break, and we'll be right back.
Little early, but it works.
Okay.
That'll work out over time.
I wasn't. I thought it was. I thought it was 2-4 when I looked down. I'm running bifocals because I can't
Uh-oh.
even see these things. I can't even see down there in my corner.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Oh, it kind of got me worried."
No, don't worry if you see me raise my hand. The only time
Well,
I
you
raise
said-
my hand is like we need to cut time.
Now, during breaks, you guys can talk. Jahan, if you want to, you can
Sweet.
unmute and say whatever you want. Have you been on yet, Sonia?
No,
Okay, so yeah, and like I said, what I want to do is I want to be able to get everybody to just basically open up and let everybody know a little bit about themselves, because like Mark said, this is a get together. This is I like to call it a mixer. We're having a mixer. I'm trying to
Do we want to tell them what I used to do or no?
Yeah, go for it.
I don't really have to.
You don't have to, but you can. It's
Yeah,
it's what
I
you
mean,
want.
if they're listening to this to the network, they probably already know.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
There's nothing wrong because you may have new listeners out there, Rafi. That's a possibility.
Yep.
Mhm.
We've
That's
got and new platforms since the very first show.
No,
Because the reboot was not like how Roger's going to take it in the original format. He's going to do the clips from the In Search Of, like I did, or he's going to take and do Cosmos clips, or other types of clips and send them in to me to be played over,
Gotcha.
and we're gonna, it's not gonna be, you know, a crazy wild ride like the last one. Reboot.
The reboot.
The reboot.
The new
Dave
ink.
Campione.
Yes.
Dave,
Yes,
look
ma'am.
in the chat.
Yeah.
I dropped a video in the chat of something
I
I
see it.
saw last week. I could not
Oh.
explain that, dude. I sat there out there for like 5 minutes and it didn't go anywhere.
All I
And
see
then it
is
just
black.
disappeared.
I just see
No,
black.
you see the bright light that's like, okay,
Oh,
in the
yeah, here
background
it
you can see like a
comes.
street light. Yeah, it just
yeah.
it didn't go anywhere. It just stayed in the one position. I'm like, what the hell? You can hear me. I'm like, what is that?
I muted it
I almost
because the
thought-
noise was coming out. Yeah, it was too noisy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you don't know. Anything I see at night, unless you got a light on it, we have no idea. It could be a craft. You don't know. You have no idea.
Well, I kept trying to think because the planes, the planes always have the red and green blinkers. So they're
Oh, yeah,
and even
exactly.
helicopters have got their blinkers. This did not, and it didn't move. Like I sat there for a full minute video and it did not move. I'm like, what is that? I mean, I'm thinking maybe it's a Japanese lantern. I'm like, that's really bright white for a Japanese lantern, but it just was not moving.
Well, next time you see anything like that, mentally project. Are you a friendly ET visitors or flying saucers or something? And they, and that's how you get contacted.
That's okay. Now you're flipping me out because earlier that night I had done Stephen Greer's CE5 meditation.
Oh boy.
Which is exactly, yeah, that's exactly for that purpose.
All right.
So
sorry, 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cafe Enigma, where we will be discussing its history and how we're going to go when it comes to moving forward with this series in the future. Now, right now, well, before we went to break, we were talking to the panel members and getting to know a little bit about their background, and a little bit about the history of Cafe Enigma and things of that nature. And we made it around to Rafael Martinez. Now we have Rafael and we have Sonia Galactic, as well as Mark Edworthy and HANSEN-NEW, who have yet to be able to talk. So we're going to continue this and let everybody kind of give a little bit about their background, starting with Rafael, because he needs to say more. That's all I got to say about it. So with that, I'm handing it over to the panel, and I am shutting my mouth, believe it or not. So I'm cool like that.
No, he is cool. But going back to my background, I'm sorry. Going back to my background, I mean, I come from a government background. I started out in the Marines and then went federal law enforcement a couple of years after that. I was there as started out in Border Patrol, went to INS, Air Marshals, and then U.S. Customs Service. And I was there in the agency. I was in the U.S. Customs Service as a special agent as we transitioned into or got reorganized into DHS and became ICE. I watched how the character of government changed overnight, and it wasn't a good thing. I mean, even we all sat around and we all saw the historical parallels of 9/11 was our Reichstag and DHS was going to be our new Gestapo. And so I come from it that side of it. I read the Patriot Act. I know that. I even told my family it was the beginning and the end of this country when I first read it, and I'm still coming from that viewpoint. But the more I found out, the more I couldn't deny it. I mean, it's not conspiracy theory; it's conspiracy fact. And I think it was a hard transition for me because, I came up thinking that my government was the force for good in the world. And little did I know that, they are at the center of some of the most heinous events around the world. And a lot of times when you think they're fighting some enemy, it's actually controlled opposition. Yeah, they're working the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. And I think, I can give a million examples of it, but, what got me started down this road was actually 9/11. So from there, I mean, there's a lot more rabbit holes that these guys go down that I can't go down yet because unless I got solid evidence I can take to court, I can't wrap my head around it. It feels right, but it doesn't mean that I can prove it. So that's where I come from. That's how I view things, and hopefully I bring something to the table.
You're definitely going to bring things to the table, so I guarantee you that. I've had plenty enough conversations with you. So, Vicky Voss is the one I forgot to mention. I apologize about that, sweetheart. You are the most amazing female next to Nancy and Sonia, of course. All three of you guys are amazing, and I apologize for that. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get you to talk a little bit and tell everybody next what a little bit about yourself, okay? And I do apologize.
No problem. My name is Victoria Vast, and I met Nancy on Telegram. She was very kind to me, and she answered questions that I had, particularly about EMF protection. I was asking for a soldier that was having problems, and she took the time to answer. And actually, I think we talked by phone, and she answered. Where we could get these hats that have the aluminum, protect against the EMF. And he was just very kind to me. And so we started being friends there. This is back in, 2021, I believe.
Yep. It was end of 2020 going into 2021. Yep.
Yes. And so I just have so appreciated her and just her warmth and acceptance. I am a former nurse. I specialized, I guess, in health needs of women, which was labor and delivery, postpartum, antepartum, newborn nursery. And then I did some school nursing. And so I have that medical background when it came to looking at the job and all things crazy there. And then also my husband worked on the Casey Anthony trial back in 2011, which actually, came back up, or these some of the players and the trafficking and the different satanic ritual murders and satanic ritual abuse, these kind of things kind of all intermingled in there. My brother was the one that told me about, this, what was going on behind the scenes. And I listened to podcasts and I got educated, and then I got on the chats and met Nancy. I am probably the odd person out because I'm an evangelical Christian. That means I was saved when I was 6 years old. And what Nancy has been kind enough to let me, kind of put that perspective in. And I
That's
will.
not kindness, Vicky. That is not kindness. That is respect for who you are, because we're not our religions. We're who we are. And you're a beautiful person and you have a message. So, heck yeah.
And, thank you. Well, I had been listening to Dr. Michael Heiser because I'd been following prophecy, and biblical prophecy, and then Michael Heiser's work. And he likes to bring the Deuteronomy 32 worldview, which goes back to what Roger, was talking about back in the Mesopotamian, those texts and the different gods and that kind of thing. Well, Michael Heiser brings that in, and he ties it into scripture that evangelicals read, because we can only read it from church traditions, which means we don't have that background of between the Second Temple and first century Jewish person, and then the church, the apostles and church fathers there going forward. So he, through all of his work, explains it so that we don't freak out when we hear supernatural things. The different topics like werewolves or vampires or witches, those things he explains. He loved to do Ancient Aliens. He was on Pagan Podcast because he has the ability to get on that same footing of where those people are, because he could actually read those Mesopotamian texts, the Dead Sea Scrolls, because that was one of his advanced degrees, is these ancient languages. He also worked at Lagos, which was the cuneiform. If you want to read the Mesopotamian text and the Gilgamesh story in the original text, you can go to Logos and read it. It's already been, worked out, the software, so that you can understand it. So, and then but he still has the evangelical, he understands, he gives it to, regular church people, like I think a lot of America is probably Protestant. Not everybody, but I mean, otherwise, I think that with the supernatural things coming out, AI, aliens, all of those things, the poor people like myself would really be in a world of hurt if we didn't kind of get on that same footing and say, no, this isn't weird. This is going back to that era. And, what goes around comes around. I just appreciate Nancy allowing me to come and hulk out, as Roger said, and put in my point of view, 2 cents from a evangelical church perspective, which is trying to add to the bigger picture. I'm not trying to proselytize or anything like that. I'm just trying to round out the bigger picture. So I've talked too much, but thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I mean, it's between Mark and Sonia Galactic.
Oh, whoa
Jahan.
there,
Now,
Roger. Guess who came in? We got Jason Quigley, MC Dirty Work, with us too now.
Did he make it?
Yeah, he made it in.
Okay, good. Now we have Jason here too. But we do have a new guy in the room, so if it's okay with you guys, do you mind if we open it up and let him kind of introduce himself so that we can get to know him too? It's Jahan Satir. What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. Let him in.
Go ahead, Jahan. Let us know a little bit about you and everything. Get to know you a little bit better.
Hey, thanks, Roger. So I'm a career musician who turned into a hypnotherapist purely, I guess, by accident. I had a lot of experiences in the music industry from very young. I'm talking 16, 17 years old, with weird investors and contracts and stuff that didn't turn out too right. And I think I turned a blind eye to a lot of the more dark and obviously ritualistic type behaviors that I saw, because I didn't want to believe that the thing that had been my dream since I was a small child was leading me down a dark path. So eventually, about 2010, I got a really big contract to sign, and I'm sitting in my lawyer's office, and he kind of had a really sad look on his face, and he took all the contract stuff and he opened it up in front of me, and he had a big red pen, and he showed me all the different clauses and stuff where I was going to sign away my likeness and basically be a slave to the system for the rest of my life and probably never going to be able to get out of it. And I was just in disbelief. And he more or less said to me, you know, you're a really good person and this kind of life is not for you. I know that you love music, but you're just not that guy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he just turned around and took out his computer and he showed me a video of something to do with like the dark satanic music industry. And he was like, this is not a joke and this is not a conspiracy theory. And he more or less just said to me, I send people to the slaughter all the time, but I can't do it to you because this is just not what you're meant for. And that moment changed my life because I had to then figure out what my identity was, because it had been tied to music and making people happy through music, which made me happy for a long time. And I had studied psychology at the University of West Indies. That's where I'm from, Barbados. And that just kind of came back to me as something else that I was interested in. So I went that conventional route for a while, and I realized that there was a lot of darkness going on within conventional psychology as well, where it's just all about pills and not about helping anybody. And then I got interested in hypnotherapy, and I just kind of realized that the subconscious mind, because that's all hypnotherapy is, it's nothing nefarious as a lot of people would like to think, or you know, it's not going to let demons in or anything. It's just the study of the subconscious mind and what it is and how to access the deeper parts of a person. And that intrigued me. And so first I put it into practice on myself as I was studying, and, you know, it led me down the road of really unlocking a lot more of that conspiracy world, because I realized how much of what we thought was the real world was really just conspiracy facts, as I think it was Raphael that correctly said. And you know, all of those eye-opening moments just made me into who I am now, and I'm just enjoying doing work, making differences where I can. And I also host the Boundless Authenticity podcast, where I have a very skeptical view of a lot of the stuff that's on the internet and spirituality, and we talk about conspiracy theories, and I speak with people who've really lived a lot of those moments and those darker realities, so we can have a realistic perspective on what's actually going on out there. But anyways, thanks again, Roger. I'll keep it short, and that's it.
That was really great. So let me see if I can get Jason, MC Dirty Work, to sound up. For you in here, MC?
He keeps dropping for some reason. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would usually say let Mark say something, but I really, really hate it when he talks, dude. So, I mean, he's just like this. He's like this English guy that's always bragging about how great English is and how great their bread is and stuff. So, I'm just gonna. I'm gonna ask Sonia if she wants to talk first.
Sure, absolutely. I'm an artist, basically. I do all kinds of art. Tattoos, kind of my money maker, I guess you could say. And then I do a T-shirt thing on the side, which is meant to help folks like expand their consciousness, because a lot of the concepts I have are, you know, like find truth, things like that, you know, that they're kind of different. And I kind of like that. That's what I felt like I should bring to the world. And and then I just kind of got involved with doing podcasting a little bit. Hopefully I'll be doing my own show here pretty soon, but I've been on Nancy's show, which is Vixen's Vault, a few times, and with all these guys, really, and super fun. And I'm actually doing a little bit of co-hosting on Fridays with Jaffe Ryder, the pirate podcast show. And so that's really fun. I've been scheduling guests. So I'm kind of becoming, someone had said it was an agent, which I'm like, what? But as far as booking goes, getting people on different shows and things like that and scheduling and stuff. So that's been really fun. I really like that. And then I've done a little editing with Christian Latoureur, who's one of the Montauk survivors. He's apparently the actual Duncan Cameron, which is absolutely fascinating to me. And so here I am because, I love Roger. Roger invited me, and so did Mark. I love all you guys, of course. But so Roger invited me, and Mark insisted. He's very insistent that I come on. So here I am. So I'm happy to be here and share my perspective with all you guys. Yep. Mr. Edwoody.
Okay, yeah. This leaves the man of the hour, Mr. Mark Edwoody.
Thank you, Roger. What can I say? I joined Cafe near to its end. Oh, the previous show, near to its end. I think it was the beginning of last year, and it ended in August, if I remember correctly.
September. September, because
September.
the ball launched in September.
Roger actually invited me. Me and Roger have been doing various streams for some time prior to that. Being the only Brit on the show, I tend to approach various issues in a slightly different viewpoint. And I don't know. I tend to be a bit more skeptical, let's just say. Arguably a bit more pragmatic. And I know some of my opinions can annoy some people on here quite often, but we do have interesting discussions out of due to them. I don't know what to really say. My background's in my own background is in IT support and network administration, so a lot of technical background. So I tend to view a lot of these issues that are discussed, like I said, in a much more down to earth sort of context.
Right. And just so everybody knows too, I want to set the record straight with me and Mark. Mark is probably the coolest dude I know since I've started doing streaming. Me and him have been through thick and thin, so when I antagonize him, it's only because it's fun to do, and I will take every chance I get to just get a pot shot in on him, okay? Because there's nothing better than hanging out with Mark. And
to be fair to both of us, I think we've been working together for at least twice a week, if not 3 times a week, for the last two and a half years, maybe even 3 now.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I noticed that Jason never came in. Did he ever make it in?
I'm going to get him in when we go to break,
Okay.
and I reset everything again. So maybe it was because the room was too full before, but I
Okay.
will. I will, and I told him. I said we are going to get him in, for sure. And he is listening on D Live and over on YouTube as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the folks out there that are tuned in, whether what platform they're on or where they're at. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're here with us.
That's right. And I also would like to say that none of this could be possible without Mark Watoshik, aka Dragus Production. He deserves the greatest respect. And to be honest with you, this is probably one of the biggest privileges I could have ever had, because I've been talking with him about wanting to get this started, and we've been talking about it for a while, and it's because of him starting this show that we're even able to do this. So I wanted to give him a shout out too, which, if you guys don't know, that's the guy who was just talking. So I was able to actually be able to pronounce his last name properly finally, and because of that, I wanted to say that. You know what I mean? Because I really do enjoy spending time with you, Mark, and you've inspired a lot of people, and hopefully you're aware of that, just so you know. So
Yeah, I wasn't going to take and bring the show back. I told Nancy when we did the reboot, in that if this isn't going to work, I'm never going to do this again. That the show had its heyday, and that's it. I'm never going to bring it back again. And Nancy, you remember me saying that?
I do.
Yeah.
In fact, it was funny because I know you really well, Mark. I've known you a very long time, and I have worked with you for a very long time.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to end up rebooting it. I knew it because it's your baby.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you talk about Cafe Enigma, you get this nostalgia in your voice. And that type of, I guess you could say, energy doesn't die. So Cafe Enigma, just because of you, could never die. I knew you were going to end up rebooting it. I knew that was going to happen because it was something that made you happy. It was something that gave you great pleasure, and you felt very satisfied with it. And that's very important for everybody. So I am delighted you brought it back. I think it's wonderful, and I told you I am over the hills ecstatic that you've got Roger hosting it, because I think he's a perfect fit. I think I'm a little bit too dynamic. I'm a little bit, I will deep dive into conspiracies. I will deep dive into anything and just let her rip. And that is not what Cafe Enigma is. So, yeah, I think perfect choice, perfect timing, but I always knew you were going to bring it back. You said never, I can't tell you how many times, and you always come back around again. Yeah, I see you. I know you very well.
Yeah. Well, it was, I had done other shows before that, but this show, the original Cafe Enigma, was the longest running show that I ever done on my own. And it gave me a lot of, pride, satisfaction, and love. And, believe me, the love doesn't, it's not just from the satisfaction of getting it up and out, but it's also, the fact that there was always great people on the panel. Always. And there was only, out of all those years, only one show that I ever did on my own from it that no one could make it. But, Roger, I'm so close, and we're so close to the break. Yeah. I'm going to take us to break. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes, folks. So if you're out there in Radioland listening to us, you'll hear some great break stuff, but we're going on break right now. We'll be right back after this. Sorry, Roger, didn't mean to cut into that.
No,
I wanted to let
great.
you do
that's
that.
Great.
Because
I know Dave was giving
he
me
had
the countdown.
He had to watch out. Okay, MC. All right.
I'm looking at my clock on my computer. That's what I go by. I think Nancy's a little slower than mine. Maybe I'm faster, but must be the altitude, Nancy.
No, you know what? I was going based off of the 55 mark and looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Because my phone has the actual time, and obviously you just subtract whatever time it is from 55.
Yeah, right.
So that's
All right.
minutes. But then I got the warning that said 14 minutes. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I got that too, and we're probably going to be cut off here real shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this call, and I'm going to try to bring Jason in with us when we come back. All right. So just give me a. No, I'm going to end the call completely, and don't leave. Because that takes you out of the chats.
Yeah.
So just hang up, okay? Folks, we'll be right back after I get the crew back together again. All right. I'm going to get our esteemed panel back and rolling. Once I do, I'm fetching that link for, that's why. Okay. All right. Sorry, Jason. I didn't know that that was blocked. I'm going to get that up and out to you. Look over in your Telegram here in a minute. All right. And I will get that over to you. And you'll see the new group to be added over there. There we go. And when I take and ring, just join that group, if you would, please. Thank you very much. Let me do this. And I'll get the rest of the folks in here. We are Cafe Enigma tonight with the new host, Roger Hansen. Bringing us back.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna click off too and see what happens.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see what he did. Smooth. Okay. Did
Here
you
he is.
reset?
He's down the bottom.
Why, was everybody still back in the group? Okay.
Nancy left. Nancy left though.
You can leave the call, but don't leave the group.
And
Okay,
Vicky
stay.
left also.
Okay, hold on. Everybody hang up. Just hang up, and I'm
Okay.
going to call you right back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, hello, hello. That's Raph coming in the room.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Raph. Let me get the rest of the folks in here. I gotta try to get Jason in. Here we go. I'm calling him. Calling Roger. Calling Mark. Calling Nancy.
Check one.
There you go. Uh-oh, what? Roger, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hold on.
I
Let me
am.
get the rest of the group. So, did you try to call?
No, what happened was is you tried to call me and it blocked off. So what I did is I just joined the group.
All right. I did have Jason in there.
I just heard him too. In the thing,
There we
I
go.
thought it for sure he was in here too.
Yeah.
Who? Where is Mark?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you are. You're not showing for some reason.
Yeah, well.
Oh, there you
Oh,
are.
that's
Oh.
why.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I
Okay.
see what it was.
Is everybody
I'm
here
all-
now?
Yes,
I
David Campione. Got to get him in here. And Jason. I told Jason. I'm trying to get Jason in here.
good. I got a call going out to Dave now, and
I've been trying to
Jason.
call on him too. Jason keeps hanging up for some reason over here. I don't. No, I didn't.
Wrong, Jason.
Yeah, and Jahir, Jahan, yeah. Trying to get everybody back, but you know.
Hold on, I'm talking to Jason now, asking if he hung up on the original call.
Yeah, he's got to hang up, and then I can. The same with David. Because it keeps bouncing him out.
It did that to me too, right? Whenever you tried to reach me, it just went right up and then it popped right off. So
I've got weird thing going on with a small pop-up.
It's calling Jason right now, and I don't know why David's not coming in.
Well, I need David in here. Somebody's got to keep count here because I'm not very musically inclined.
Not today, Satan, huh?
It is
I'm
not
supposed to behave.
It is not letting me bring in David at all, or Jason.
It's weird.
Now. Hang up, everybody, and let me try this again. I do mean hang up. You know.
Okay.
All right. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. I'm here.
All
We're all
right.
here.
Right.
Cool.
Jason, you're here. All right. Where's Roger now? There he is.
I'm here.
Roger's here.
Okay, Nancy's here. Roger's
back.
here. The only one.
Sonya's here.
We're missing. We're missing Jahan
Ralphie,
and
we're in a different
Raph.
call.
Yeah.
Did you hang up the other call?
Rafi.
He's coming. Hold on. He's trying to figure it out now.
I'm trying to bring.
I gotta.
Yeah, it normally takes us a little to join on one of the things, but there's nothing here tonight. So Mark's bringing us in, or Roger's bringing us in, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
There's Ralphie.
there we
We're
go.
still
He's
missing
in.
Jason.
Jason is.
It says it's still calling them.
Oh, he was just in chat. He was trying to get in, and he kept on taking him to chat.
10, 15 minutes ago.
What about Jihan?
Yeah, I'm trying to bring him in too. I don't know.
There's Jason.
Check.
Hey,
Check
Jason.
one.
There you are,
There
Jason.
he is.
All right.
Hey, Jason.
Good God, that was annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been rough. I think it's just because of the number of folks we have in tonight.
Hey,
With
Jason.
Microsoft, everything was fine until
Okay.
they switched.
Yeah, you're darn right.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna say something that yesterday in the Red Sea, some massive subterranean cables were snipped, and it took out YouTube yesterday. It took out a lot of different networks, and they didn't attribute it to that. I'm like, oh yeah, no, the timing was impeccable. Yeah, it was the cable. And I even mentioned to somebody, it's quite interesting that many services went down simultaneously based off of one little area at the Red Sea, right off the area where Israel is. I said, and that tells you that there are some major hubs to some major services that most of us were not aware of.
All right, we got 30 seconds and then we're back. All right.
Okay.
So we don't get too
Oh,
far.
there's Roger. Roger's still here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still here.
Did
Roger
Raph,
better be here. He's the freaking
did Jahan
host.
get in? Jahan, are you here?
No,
Yeah,
no, I
still
think
calling him.
he's in the other chat.
Benny. Yeah.
I feel
Anyways,
like a school
here's
teacher on a big trip,
here's your
rounding everybody
countdown.
up.
3, 2, 1. Roger, you're live and on the air right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are going into part 2 of the stream tonight. Now, this is going to be the point where we're going to step it up a little bit more. We also have a new guest that came in with us, and that is Jason Quigley. So before we get on to the next part of what I want to be discussing, I want to have him kind of give his background and tell everybody a little bit about himself. But I also want to move on to the next phase of it, where I ask the panel members to kind of go over some past episodes, past experiences that they've had with Cafe Enigma that they really enjoyed in the past. So before we get to that though, we're gonna give MC Dirty Work the floor and let him tell everybody a little bit about himself.
All right. Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's well.
Hello.
Yeah, what's to tell, right? I was minding my own business, being a musician, going through life, and I was doing work, putting music work up to YouTube, and I saw something on architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, and quite frankly, I had to see how these folks who seem so very sane on any other given day could be so insane today, obviously, because I had to be, And long story short, because back then, they didn't have the censorship at YouTube like they have today. And you could really, not only if you knew where to look, but YouTube would actually dump it right in your recommendeds. I mean, you could look up things on Sandy Hook. You looked at one thing and they would dump 10 more things that would be just as useful, if not more, than the last. It was thank you, YouTube, by the way. But right. So like long story short, when I was about 37 years old, that's like 9 years ago, I found out that 9/11 was anything other than what I thought it was, and I had to know what else I was lied to about. And it didn't take more than a year for me to find out I was lied to pretty much about most of history, as it was taught, going way, way back. So it got under my skin something fierce. And basically, that was 2017. I kept my research up. In 2020, I started live streaming at DLive. Before then, I was uploading to YouTube. I was a presence there, and just trying to get the information out, especially this time of year. I'll be live streaming from the WTC on 9/11. I'm going to try to get there real early so I can show you guys just how bad it is in terms of them making you show papers that you're related to somebody who died just to get into the fountains on a day when everybody should be able to go and pay their respects. So yeah, this is definitely a busy time of year. And it's of course not just 9/11. It's like I said, that was just what set it off. I figured I was 21 years old when 9/11 happened. I figured, all right, we let this happen. Yeah, it was hijackers. Yeah, they hate mom. They hate apple pie. They hate baseball. They have to take most of our freedom. That way they don't have to take it all. And I believed that, but I did not believe that we did it ourselves. I didn't believe it was a quote unquote inside job. And I was wrong. And that just kind of led to where I am today. Just hollering at anybody that'll listen that, we're all slaves and it's not to be had. Yeah, I don't have children, but if I did, my God, I would not want them living in a world where they're slaves and they don't know it. So that's me.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Now, with that being said, this comes to the veterans here of the show. I want to ask if you guys could possibly discuss some more of your experiences when it comes to the show. Now, we could have Mark sit here and rattle off a whole bunch of stuff because I know he's got a lot of experiences. But I want to hear because I haven't been able to hear much from him lately. It's Dave Capione. Dave, can you tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about some of the great experiences that you've had when it comes to being on this show and the things that you remember that you liked about Cafe Enigma, if you could.
Yeah, well, Mark brought me in, and I asked him, I told him what my background was on flying saucers. I'm a photographer by trade, and 50 years. 50 years plus, whatever. Now I'm doing all wildlife now. Used to do all commercial work, and that's how I got involved with the CIA crap that back in the early 70s. But anyway, there was Mark had a young lady I believe she was from Chicago named Jane Rodriguez. And she was pretty good. She always had her videos on, and she had her show with the Cafe Enigma. And I don't know whatever happened to her, or what maybe she wound up getting a gig and propelled herself in a different opportunity or a higher opportunity. And one of the really super people was I think he was from Milwaukee, Mark Witashek. It was a rabbi, and I don't recall his last name, but he was really good.
Sid.
I know he got Sid. Yeah.
Rabbi Sid Weingard. Yeah.
Yeah, he got sick, right? And did he pass on? I don't
No,
even know.
he's still around, but you don't see him too much doing stuff anymore. And then he moved, and now he has a congregation. I think his congregation is actually up in Chicago area or someplace like that. Jane was actually, I think she was from like the Four Corners area. Because
was she?
Yeah, she was originally brought to me, and she was a panelist first through J.C. Johnson. Yeah. The most I would say he was probably one of the greatest cryptozoologists I've ever had on, and that I've had folks on like Ken Gerhard, Jack Carey, who's still a host.
Jack Carey.
Yeah, and he has his own show through me now. It's like, and Lyle Blackburn. I mean, I've had lots of great people on, and
you even had Lee Triana Brown, who had Family International, which you produced.
Yeah, Family Spirit International, but before that, it was Family Spirit. I produced for her, and then after a while we parted ways. So yeah. Yeah,
well, she went on to bigger and better things, but she had the opportunity here, and that's what Dragus Productions has helped some people. I mean, there are probably people been on and we don't even know about that. They excelled in their craft or whatever, or their knowledge, and they're doing other things. And I mean, you got Jack on here, and he was a Bigfoot researcher with J.C. Johnson, and J.C. used to be on Coast to Coast AM. Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell or George Norrie. I don't even know.
Both of them. Yeah, both of them. And then Jack done the same thing and then worked with Gaia. Yeah.
And he was with the Discovery Channel, wasn't he, Jack?
He did some stuff with Learning Channel and Gaia TV. I believe.
Yeah, he did. He had his own show on Gaia. Yeah.
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was Discovery, but it doesn't matter. But I know Lee went on to. I think she did Discovery Channel for, was it ghost hunting or something? That Roger, I don't know if you know this, but there was a lot of shows on ghost hunting, and I'm sure Nancy led a lot of people, and I don't know where they went to, but that was always a good thing, and they were always talking about the different places that they were going to go and with the equipment and record the ghost and whatever they do. I've never been on anything like that myself.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Not that I'm afraid. I just never had the opportunity. I'm too busy. I can only do so much. I can only wear so many hats. And I'm trying to think of some of the other people that Mark has had on Dragus Production, or through Cafe Enigma, including Nancy. Well, Nancy popped in and out, and then there was Big D up in where the heck was he? Up in Georgia, Franklin, Georgia. Yeah, Big D. And he was the new Cafe Enigma, and I think that's what started a few years ago. And I was on on Big D's show for a while, and now we got Roger, and now he's got his own show, and Nancy's back on with her own show, and who knows where all this is going to go. I mean, it just keeps accelerating with the different panelists, and then they got their own show, and I think that's a tribute to Mark Witashik, because he's such he knows what he's doing, and sometimes when on Facebook I get these private messages and it lists all the platforms that he's on, and I'm going, where are these coming from? I didn't even know it, but he knows it all, and or knows a lot of it, and as Mark had said earlier, he was getting tired of hosting the show by himself. And he needed hosts. So here you are, Roger. Now you're in the new seat, and I'm sure it's going to be a great show. Yep, I am.
And I'm gonna do my best, but I don't know if I can. I will do my best though to do that. But before I start hosting and stuff, I want to pass the buck on to Nancy, because Nancy is an old dog when it comes to this. And I got to listen to some of your older archive stuff, dude, and I loved it. She was like this young, excited female getting out there, freaking gonna spread the message and stuff. And I'm like, wow, dude. And she's all excited and everything. So I wanna hear it from her mouth what it was like back when she first started getting involved in all this stuff.
Well, okay, so my experience evolved through my relationships back in the mid to late 90s. I was friends with Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters. We had connections basically through the paranormal community. And Jason, I knew at that time, was actually one of the producers. He and Grant were actually producers of the show Fear on MTV, which a lot of people don't know. That is in their previous history. And Fear was one of my favorite shows because it put people in god-awful situations that scared the absolute piss out of them, which I thought was funny. Because to me, if you don't take the time to understand the phenomena, you just let things startle you, you're really not going to have a very productive life as you get older. You don't just, to me, it was always a mystery to solve. Like, to me, the paranormal is a riddle. And it's a riddle of nature and a riddle of the universe, and one that I am hell-bent on trying to solve. That has been pretty much my life quest. Well, when Jay and Grant got approached by Pilgrim Films, which is the NBC network, to do the show Ghost Hunters, they had asked me if I would come on board and build their forums for the show, and then also their IRC-based chat, which I did. Now, you have to imagine forums. That's one thing. Building and running an IRC chat is a totally different ballgame, totally different animal. And I had no idea what the heck I was doing when I first got on. I mean, I was like, holy thumbs, Batman. So I became very familiar very quickly with people I could tell had experience, and they actually taught me how to code the chats in the IRC, which is basic HTML coding. I learned the laws. I learned, like, legally, I had any given day in the Ghost Hunters chat, you could have anywhere from 3,000 to 40,000 people. It just depended on what was going on. If it was a show night, you could guarantee at least 30 to 40,000 people were going to come through that chat. I had 50 volunteer moderators on that chat that never got paid a dime, and devoted literally 24 hours a day to monitoring that chat. That chat was open for almost 9 years. I actually moved away from the show Ghost Hunters because to me it became too Hollywood. It was less about science, less about understanding, and more about I guess you could say, the gotcha moments in the film industry. And I really did not like that because to me, understanding the phenomena environmentally that goes on around you is a huge part of the equation. But in the interim, I was asked to come. TAPS started a radio network. It was called TFR, TAPS Family Radio. And I was asked to come on initially as a program director because for some reason, everybody liked me. Like, I had contacts everywhere within, I don't know, 6 months of owning that chat. I was familiar with Johnny Zaffis, everybody on the show. I mean, some really big names in the entertainment industry, including, oh, good Lord, I can't believe I just mind blanked on his name. One of the oldest people in the paranormal, we used to call him the grandpappy of the paranormal, passed on. He's got a daughter, Catherine, who's currently involved. Not Don Ecker. I can hear Raphael yelling in the other room. Don came a little bit later. But, I mean, literally, I was very, very gifted with, I guess you could say, the ability to make people feel comfortable. And so we had one night on TFR where one of the hosts couldn't make it, and I got asked to fill in. And I apparently did a great job because I became permanent. When I decided to walk away from Ghost Hunters, I decided I was going to do my own show. And I named it The Vixen's Vault because my nickname online since 1997 has been Wiccan Vixen. So The Vixen's Vault started. Now, I began on a network called Sepia. And Sepia was owned by mutual friends of Mark and I. I think they were out of the Carolinas, if I remember right. But pretty broad network, very large at that time, very large in the paranormal community. Both Mark and I were with Sepia. And I'm not sure what happened, but we separated from Sepia. If I remember correctly, it had something to do with a guest, but we separated and Mark started Dragus.
No, actually, when I left Sepia, well, I was asked to leave.
I wasn't going there, Mark. I
Hey,
All right,
need to know information we didn't need
but
to get into.
but you know, I had been on actually to start the background of that before where Nancy began with it is Eric and I used to host shows on a station that was a CBS affiliate called The Para X. And he and I became good friends. And we had another friend there, too, that had a station after Para X went under different management and dropped a bunch of shows, ours included. And when we did that, I went to TMV Cafe, and I was with Be More Radio, and then and I was with Be More Radio for about 4 or 5 years before Ray Meserol passed away, and Ray was my my guiding light with radio, and one day if we'll get to it when we have a lot more time than this because we're coming up on break. I'll do an interview about me and Ray because it could take about a good show to do how I learned radio from Ray Meserol.
So hold on to that for a second, okay, Mark, and we'll go ahead and take a break and come back. And I'm really happy with tonight because I didn't have to say very much at all. I could just sit back, and I'm taking credit for this. Isn't this awesome?
You'll find that when you do this show, the less the host or moderator talks, the more rewarding it is.
And that's something too. When we come back, I do want to talk about the future format of the show, and I want take from you guys on how you think it would be a good idea to do the shows in the future, because I do want feedback from everybody who's been a part of this from the beginning. So with that, I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to let Mark take us out to break. Sound good, guys?
Already done.
Sounds
We're on break right now.
Okay, good.
All right,
Yeah.
we are on radio break. Yes. We got 5 minutes.
Hey, Nancy, is there because Roger wants some information on where the show goes. You know, we got stuff coming in that's in our solar system right now, and they don't know what the hell it is.
Oh, I know. You're talking about 30i Atlas.
Absolutely. And then I just read an article before we went on the show tonight. It was about 7:00 tonight, and they were saying that now they're expecting the Republican Congresswoman from Florida named Luna. I forget her first name.
Anna Paula Luna. Yep.
Anna Paula Luna and Avi Loeb from Harvard, and now they're worrying about, as it passes the sun and when it comes on to the other side of the sun, the end of October, they're worried about drones or maybe they're going to bombard this planet or something. I mean, you know, come on, give me a break. First it wasn't a comet, now it's a comet all of a sudden, and then they're back to a spacecraft, and then you got the nemesis that's coming in, the dwarf sun dragging Nibiru. That's what they call it, and I forget what the Nibiru, and I forget what they call the other planet that they're dragging along, and that's supposed to cross over the elliptical solar, where we go around, revolve around the sun, and this is supposed to cross over and not be part of that. So who knows what's going to go on? And I think that would be neat to find somebody who's really onto this with an astronomy.
3i Atlas
3i
is
Atlas.
It's a very okay. So every time they come up with a new image of it, there's something else that shows us this is not natural. I mean, the latest one was the tail, the quote unquote tail.
Yeah, right.
Is in the wrong direction.
Yep.
So it's opposite of the way the comet's moving. It's on the wrong side.
That's right. It's coming at us.
And it's funny because I think I've mentioned it on the Vault multiple times now, where I've like, listen, guys, holy blue beam event, because if you were gonna pull a blue beam, this is the way you'd set it up. You scare the snot out of people. You push it. Oh, this is it. In the meantime, we have this drone technology that is capable of doing holographic imagery that would 1,000% fool most of the planet's population that aren't aware of what blue beam is. So I was like, the fact that Anna Paulina Luna was talking about the drones, I'm like, oh, they are going to pull a blue beam. Oh, those idiots. Those idiots.
This is what I brought up on Wednesday on the Vault. That well, first of all, they were saying there's about 0.005% chance that this thing is a comet or any type of natural phenomena, but that it's coming in on the elliptical, like it's diving down the way our solar system is supposed to be flat like a record, and it's supposed to come down and scoot past every planet and then, like you said, zip behind the sun and whatever. And what I find even more interesting is Oumuamua, that other one that came before this. That means Scout. So you're telling me that thing's coming to Scout before this 3i Atlas thing's coming through, and this is like a month and a half ago?
Yep, that's what Avi Lowe said too. And Jack Carey, I wish Jack was in here tonight too, because he would have mentioned that as well.
Here's the fun thing: if you take Oumuamua, the photograph of Oumuamua that they've got, and you flip it to where it's vertical, go look at that. Take that picture, and then go look at the picture of the Black Knight.
Okay, we're less than 30 seconds back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the Black Knight and that the Black Knight's in the orbit
Remember, Roger, we have up until the 5-minute mark. All right.
around
Until
our polars. It's
five-
it's not an equatorial.
All right.
Right.
And here's your countdown: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Roger, you are live and back on the radio side right now.
All right, and thank you, Mark, for letting us come back in here and get the show back on the road. Now, one thing I want to do that I actually forgot to do, and actually I'm glad that Mark and Nancy kind of got into it. I wanted to actually mention Jesse Johnson too, and and say, you know, that whenever he passed away, I think one of the most amazing radio shows that I've seen or heard that Dragus Productions did was their dedication to him whenever he passed away. I was able to listen to it a few nights ago, and it was probably one of the most emotional radio shows or any kind of stream period that I've ever heard, to be honest. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of great things about him, and because of what I heard there and what I've heard everybody talk about, I think that it's only proper for our beginning of this new area with Cafe Enigma that we give recognition to JC Johnson. And if any of you guys who knew him wish to say something that you would like to say about JC, I'd really love to hear it. And I'm pretty sure it'd be a good thing to have on the episode too. So,
Well, I mean, I knew JC and so did Mark. I don't know about anybody else on the panel because he kind of preceded Dave might, because he kind of preceded a lot of the people here, and he was one of us. He was like an OG, an OD, you know, one of the oldest in the paranormal. He was OG to us. So in other words, we're OG now. He was our OG. He was probably he was a pioneer. And that's the best way to describe JC. And he was kind of fearless. Like, he went after things that, you know, when it came to being I guess you could say, somebody who delved into the paranormal for many, many, many years, what y'all don't understand is that it was not something that was looked at nicely by society at all. Didn't matter how scientific you were about it. Didn't matter how you got hated from all angles, whether it be the religious angles because you're flirting with Satan, whether it be the scientific community because it's unproven, or I mean, literally, you just got hit from every direction. JC could weather that like a surfer in a tube, like perfect, just angled it every time perfectly. Information was always spot on. He was funny, enigmatic in a lot of ways. I had a lot of respect for him. And I know Mark had a tremendous amount of respect for him. So it was a real hit when we lost him. And I think it kind of brought all of our mortalities front and center. And that's kind of what happens when you lose somebody you know pretty well. It's kind of like when the Constantines died. That hit home. I knew them. Wasn't surprised by the circumstances, but I knew them. And it hit home because these are people we worked with, we knew, respected usually to some degree. So that was my take. I mean, JC, you could bring JC on a program and he'd just let him go, let him off his leash. I mean, he was like Don Ecker. Don Ecker is the same way. Bring Don Ecker on a show, let him off his leash. You talk about a host not having to talk. They would keep you wrapped in whatever research they were into at that moment, just without, and it seemed like 2 hours would just blow by in 2 seconds. It's just amazing experiences. You learned a tremendous amount. And you learned I think JC kind of also taught us in many ways how to deal with the pressures of being in a field that in many respects is still to this day unproven. Even the conspiracies. Why is it called a conspiracy theory? Because it's theoretical. You don't really have anything solid until you do. Even the paranormal is now we're starting to see a lot of things that people experience be justified within quantum physics. But even quantum physics is theoretical. So it's kind of a circle jerk. You just keep kind of going around and around and around. JC gave a little bit of legitimacy in a time where that was really hard to do. So full respect for the man. I still miss him. I know Mark misses him because we talk about him every once in a while. It's always with sadness. It's sad. Then that's sad in itself because I don't think he'd want that. But yeah, he was a great man. He was a great man.
Another one with a similar background, and I'll miss her too, was Linda Godfrey. Linda did lots of shows with us as well, and me.
Yep.
And JC passed before her, but she was like queen of cryptozoology for years. She wrote The Beast of Bray Road, did so many books on Bigfoot, Dogman, and had so much research. It was great having her in as the lead when I did like Queens of the of Cryptozoology. Had her lead, and Mary Sutherland was there, and we had Jane at the time too, and I can't. We had Missy Hill was even part of that. And I'll have to look up Missy Hill. Huh?
Do you remember when we had Sin on?
Yeah, on your show. I don't think I could never get her in on mine.
I thought she did do an Enigma though, because
she might have. If she did, oh yeah, yes, she did. I think it was when we were talking about or doing like the Halloween special or something like that, or we were talking about cults and things like that. Cults, yeah, because oh yeah, I think it was, what was it, the George. What was it? The guy that killed everybody. He was a preacher down in South America.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jim Jones.
Jim Jones. Yeah, we did a show on Jim Jones, and I think she was one. And the scary part about having Sin Jones on is she sounds so much like Nancy. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's hard to tell them apart unless you see them light up on Skype, or at the time it was Skype, or now it's Teams. So.
Well, it was funny too because Sin and I had a lot of, to give you all some perspective. Sin Jones is a Satanist, and I always warn people because again, I'm in the occult communities. I may not be a Wiccan as you think of it, but I am a pagan. I am what they would call a witch. And I am in those communities, very deeply in those communities. And I mean, I knew what sin was. And one of the things I kept saying, like my prelude when I brought her on the first time to Mark was, you got to be really careful with Satanists, especially true Satanists, because I have yet to meet a stupid one. I mean, and we're talking intelligence to a level it's hard to grasp.
Yeah,
sometimes.
She was, and not only that, she wore lots of hats as well.
Yes.
Because she was the high priestess, and she probably still is, of Cthulhu here in the States. The high priestess, and that is the highest you can go in that. So, because the male is the lower part of that.
Well, I think the stories of Cthulhu also kind of, that gives you an introspect to the thought process that a lot of the myths, a lot of the, like that was, I think, Lovelace. That was, I mean, a lot of what's
Lovecraft.
written, and Lovecraft, there we go, Lovelace. Hello. A lot of what was written, we read it as mythology. And you don't know if it was based off truth. There were so many very strange things that surrounded that entire story, if you actually read into it and research it. I mean,
that was the show. That was actually the show that she was on then. I'll have to look it back up. Yeah, and maybe she was on both of them, but Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that she was on the Lovecraft because I did a show about Lovecraft and I did a show about Edgar Allan Poe and Mary Shelley, I think too, a while back. Yeah, I mean, 10 years you cover a lot of different topics.
Yep. I mean, and the thing is again, what you have to understand with like Sin is Sin will take the counter side of whatever you're talking about just to be a nudge, and she can like defend it brilliantly. Just to be a pain in the ass. Oh yeah. But I mean, she was one of the. In fact, she is the absolute only guest I've ever had on one of my show who vehemently defended Adolf Hitler. Do you remember that, Mark? I was just like, where do I go with this?
And minor attracted person.
Yeah. Well, I was the whole time I was looking for the kill switch, but I'm like, man, this is good. I'm looking for the kill switch. This is good because
she had logical arguments.
The logical arguments. The way she presented her arguments was really sound. All right, and scary, but sound. All right.
Yep.
So, and you just never, but at the same point, she could have said, by the way, that's wrong, and we're going to go and we're going to talk about Genghis Khan instead, and she would have been right in on with that, but. When she did topics, and we had folks who could do so many different kind of topics and flip like that, and because they knew the information in and out, and there were, and it was great for the folks who didn't know or even had a little bit of knowledge about it because it's insightful, and the whole premise of the show is educational.
Yep. Well, the thing is I think back now to some of the marks she hit on that particular discussion, and she was saying, this was us, this was the United States, we blame him, but he was one of ours, and as per, he ended up in Argentina because we hit him, and I remember arguing it with her, and now come to find out, oh yeah, wait, she was probably right. Whoops. But I think our falling out came at the very end of that show when the topic became abortion, and she's like pro-abortion all the way up to almost 3 years of age, which is not even abortion anymore. It's not even abortion at that point.
The flare-up point was the minor attracted persons argument. She apparently did counseling for them or
that's
group
right.
therapy with them.
Yeah. She sounded like the TED Talk on that. I remember that.
Yeah, there was just no way to get me on board with that one.
Yeah,
right.
My kill switch was obviously, I was like, listen, I'm not here to tell any woman to do what anything with their body, but on a personal level, I can't condone it. I will not condone it. Well, you're a pagan. That was the argument. You're a pagan. Yeah, but that means I respect all life, even if it's just a flash in a mother's womb. I respect it, and I think it should be nurtured. I don't think we have the right to terminate. It's not our call. If nature thinks it's not going to make it, nature will terminate. So that was where she and I really bonked heads, and that was like the last time I had her on the air because she wouldn't back down. I wouldn't back down. I still respect, like I said, I respect her for her opinion, but I wasn't going to agree with it. So that was the Sin Jones interview. That was probably one of the most memorable, even though she was unknown, which was crazy because we had so many really, really famous people on the show. And Sin literally was like one of the most relatively unknown people, but incredibly good at interviews.
But think about it, though. Sin brought me people like Corvus Nocturne, okay? Oh. And he's a practicing vampire, all right?
Yep.
And he's produced movies and written scripts and things like that. Corvus is well known. He doesn't go. he probably still goes as that, but he usually uses his real name for like stuff like other places that you can't
He was
use
just with us
an alias.
he was at Full Disclosure. He
Who?
was literally at Full Disclosure. He was at Full Disclosure.
Oh,
He was at
okay.
Brian's event.
He's a
Yeah,
great
in fact,
guy, and
Raphael
I really
Raphael.
like him, And you need to, and when you start talking about vampires and like the moon and that, get Corvus, or have me reach out, or Nancy reach out to Corvus. Great guy, and he's so insightful about a lot of that because that's part of him. All right.
Yep. Like I said, they may have strange alter opinions, but the shows that Mark puts out there allows for us to explore that, and usually without judgment. Like I said, I had my one line with Sin, but normally I don't judge. Your opinion's your opinion. I'm not here to change it. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
And you may actually change my opinion if you're logical enough. Just depends.
But problem is with someone like her, she tries to push her opinion on you too at times. But
yes,
but you have to be careful with folks like that, even if they are intelligent, have all the knowledge, well, a lot of the knowledge, or the knowledge, and the know-how, as well as being practicing or doing it. They're. You still have to watch where you step.
I mean, we had Peter Robbins, and
Oh
we
my
talked
God.
about Rendlesham Forest and the event that happened out there, Bentwaters. That's over by you, Mark Edworthy.
Yeah.
And that was that event.
And I actually got Peter out of his comfort zone on one Cafe Enigma, and David was in there too. And I had him talking about paintings. I'm not sure which painter it was, but he really didn't want to talk about it. And I'm like, look, I said, everybody knows you for the UFO stuff, but you are so much more than that. And I talked him into it. He did it. He did it, and he said, don't ever have me do that again. And I said, I won't, but thank you. I really appreciate you doing the show on it, because I didn't know anybody else who had a background in it, in art, that could do that and give me that information.
You know who does?
Huh?
You have a host that has a background in art. That's Jack.
Yeah, now I do, but then I didn't.
Yep.
Then I didn't. Jack was kind of in the background yet, and he did. At that time, he was doing more field work than he's doing right now. And now he's into homesteading and his art, and he's still doing his paranormal and his investigations, but he's taking it as a lead director type investigator instead of like the field man. So yeah,
it's funny because
since we're coming up at the end of the thing, that is something that I do want to kind of discuss with you guys, because like moving forward, especially now since we've got everybody here, you know what I mean. Nancy has had extensive experience at this show, not only from the original one but the reboot, and Jaffe, Dave, and Vicky, all of us, we've been involved in it in some way. And what I want to actually do before we end this episode is kind of get your guys' take on where you feel that this would be a great way to go, because like we're going to go according to the original format, where we do the clip beforehand, we introduce everybody, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to the panel and let the panel just take control. And if it gets out of hand, I can moderate, or if we run out of people who are talking, I can have talking points to kind of get the conversation going. But other than that, I want to know what your guys' take on it. Where do you think from this point on it should go besides that? You know what I mean?
Well, I think, if you're going to do, say, an episode of the Enigma and you're including like, okay, the anomalies Dave and I were talking about on break, you do something along those lines. Look around. You can ask me. I can do it because I have contacts. You could ask any one of us who have contacts. Look around. Find yourself an astronaut. Find yourself somebody who has got experience in that area that is willing to talk and willing to go outside the box a little bit, because that's where it's a little bit of a twist. A lot of them are under NDAs. A lot of them are under a lot of very strict paperwork that won't allow them to speak. But you're going to find a diamond in the rough. It happens. Like I have Wilbur Allen. Wilbur Allen, God love the man. I mean, he did some insane interviews with me. He was actually an engineer on Air Force One for 2 different presidents. He was a military brat. He was CIA at one point. He has a doctorate in Hubble technology. Guy is just as experienced as it comes. He's filmed things, what he believes is Solar Warden out in Sedona. I mean, it had Raphael freaking enraptured because of the evidence he's compiled. People like that, those are the people you want to get on to your panel. I mean, people like me, yeah, we're great, but I'm an OG, like I said, I'm an old dog. You know, I don't have the level of experience Wilbur would have when it comes to astrophysics. That's his specialty, and he's willing to talk. He will go outside that box. He will go down that rabbit hole with you. That is what you want. Somebody's going to take your hand like Alice with the rabbit, and down the rabbit hole you go. Because that's what keeps listeners on. That's what keeps them coming back. So that would be my advice. Try to angle your topics and then find just one person that's different on the panel that follows that topic line.
Oh, I got that. I've got Vicky. I'm going to start talking about Satan and doing satanic rituals and just get her all riled up.
I think I think a good thing that worked for me and will work again is you need to come up with a theme, a monthly theme.
Yep.
That'll go anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. Okay. And stick to that. They can go in an order or not. You know, you pick them and you send me the clips and that, and we can do them that way. And then going back to we do have Jack, and Jack already expressed to me, yeah, let's do at least a quarterly. I know doing more than a quarterly for cryptozoology, you're going to get bogged down, and a lot of you'll lose a lot of information. But if you do quarterly ones, you can theme each one as like aquatic, aerial, Terran base, and things like that, which will make this a big success.
Okay, so we have come to 2 minutes before the end of the show, and before we end the show, I would like to go around and have everybody give their socials so that the viewers know where they can reach you. Since we've had Sonia sitting in the back being quiet, how about you go first, Sonia Galactic, and we'll go around the room and get everybody to give their socials. What do you think?
Sure, sounds cool. You can find me at galacticfire.com. There's a contact page on there. Or, I'm on Facebook nowadays, although it's not Sonia Galactic on there, but that's okay. In any case, so there's that, for my contact. Thanks, Raj.
No problem. How about you, Miss Vicky Voss?
You can find me on Telegram for such a time as this. That's my channel. And on X at Booklander62.
And what about you, David Capione?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook under David Champ, and look at some of my wonderful nature photos, and even Goliath. I have Goliath on there. He's a big alligator, 14 feet, 800 pounds, or more than 800 pounds. But nobody's measured him and nobody's lifted him. And also under David Campione on Amazon.com, you can find my UFO spacecraft identification manual, and in there is one of the pages on how to contact a spacecraft.
And
Next.
How about you, Mark Edworthy?
I'm mainly on minds.com under the username Medworthy. Yeah.
Okay. And Nancy Planeta, can you give us your socials so where people know how to
I was
get in
going to
touch?
say, every time you say, give me your social, my hacker mind goes, no. Seriously. But you guys can find me on Telegram as Wiccan Vixen. On X, you can find me as Rider on the Storm. And on Facebook, you can find me as Nancy Planeta or Wiccan Vixen. Either one will pull up my account. I'm also on TikTok now as Wiccan Vixen, but I don't have an active account. I'm there just to peruse.
Okay.
Jason Quigley.
There you go.
Yes,
Jake.
yes. You can find me, MC Dirty Work, D Live, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. And this Thursday from New York City, I'll be streaming on and off D Live all day, all morning, and all afternoon long. YouTube as well under DJ MC Dirty Work. That's YouTube. And that's this 9/11, this Thursday, on and off all day.
All right. And how about you, Rafael Martinez?
You can find me on Twitter at X_ICE_1811.
Excellent. And with all of that being said, I'd like to ask that if you like the show, please like, subscribe, share, make comments down in the comment section, guys. It's the most important thing you can do for this show. If you can't help with financial support, it doesn't matter, because you can support us with a comment in the comment section, have a conversation with us, and let us get to know you. With that, I think we have covered pretty much enough, haven't we? We are good to go, according to my producer, and it feels so good saying that, dude. Like I was able to say that today in a chat, and I was like, dude, I've got a producer. That is so freaking cool.
Take us out, Roger.
So with that, we are going to bring the show to a close. Thank you guys for showing up and being a part of the panel. Thanks to the viewers for watching. And I do want to let everybody know that next week's episode is going to have a topic, and that topic is going to be the Siberian Fireball. So if you want to come back, you are very welcome to do it. I'd love to have Nancy and Nancy.
Glad to do that. I was going
go.
to say glad to do. That's Tunduska. That is a cool
Tunduska,
thing to
yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Let's go,
so
Roger.
That's what we got, and we will talk to you later, guys. Have a good night, and we're done.
Good night.
All right. We're off air on the radio side, and I'm going to bring this back up if you guys want to stick around for an after show. And we'll stay in the same room. I'll just hang up here in a minute. Just give me a few minutes to take and get this all set up so that I can do that. All right?
You know, Roger, Tunduska, there's a lot of scuttlebutt about that was actually an EMP from an actual nuclear event. Even though they told us that the nuclear bomb was not developed until the 1940s, yeah, there's a lot of evidence that says that was not what they said.
You know, you mentioned things too in your show that you never get the chance to bring up, and it's like when you start talking about that ionosphere, and you start talking about Operation Bluebeam. Okay.
Yeah.
Every single time you talk about that stuff when it comes to that, because you brought the topic up at least 3 times, I know.
Yep. It's hard to stay on topic with it, but dude, it's amazing if you look at what's happening right now versus what Serge Manasse warned us about and lost his life
If
about.
they were ever going to do it, now would be the time.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we said earlier.
Forget. Serge Manasse pretty much gave his life. He's like Phil Schneider. I mean, they tried to tell us, and he gave very, very, very descriptive, definitions of what was going to occur. And it's like, holy crap, it's all lined up exactly the way he said it would. And it's really sad that they would think that even though there's an awareness, I think that's why they work so hard to try to make us look like fools. They infiltrate us. They do so much that it's like, I said to somebody, it was like the Q movement. So many infiltrators to try to make it look completely ridiculous. But there was truth to what Serge Manasse was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and we do have the technologies. We've had holographic technology since the 40s, easily.
Well,
I mean,
look at HAARP. Okay, when they talk about the effects that HAARP has on the ionosphere, where it can manipulate.
All right, before you go down that road, I'm going to hang up on everybody here so that we can restart this. Okay, so give me a minute.
To leave?
Huh?
Do we have to leave?
Yep. Do like you did the last time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. And I will re-ring you guys once again. All right. The Cafe Enigma is back with Roger Hansen at the helm. That's right. Gonna take and call the folks back and get them back and going for the after show. There you are, Roger.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. I'm back.
David's
I'm back.
back.
Thanks, Mark.
Nancy's back.
Everybody's
Everybody's back. Good. All right.
Mark Edworthy. Sonia's back. Nancy.
I'm back. I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we're,
be muting for a little bit because I'm gonna eat in the middle, but I'm here.
Yeah. And it's calling. There's Vicky. All right.
There's Vicky. Yeah.
But
Just a FYI, Raphael rejected you guys for, what are you playing, babe? Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Well, which part though?
Which one? Warzone.
Oh, Warzone. Heck, okay. That's all right. Just if he said Black Ops, then I'd be like, jeez. Oh my God.
Oh no, we've matured beyond Black Ops right now.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's got cool graphics. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But it's not.
You kidding me? My grandsons harassed him all day on this game. He made the big mistake. I had two of my grandsons last night overnight, and they were on all different systems playing the game. And literally, he made the really big mistake of giving them his phone number and his screen name. So they went home, and automatically his phone starts vibrating, the screen starts going, and literally all day long, until the point where he actually blocked them because he was like, I can't even think right now.
Yeah.
He was like, oh my God. He goes, they're relentless. And I said, well, you're a male figure in their life that's taken an interest, and they look up to that. And they want to be, it's cool. Hey, we're playing with our grandpa. He's pretty good, but we can tell him that he needs to go here, and we can warn him when he's in danger. I was like, in a kid's mind, that's like huge. So.
Yeah, I think that's a Gusta thing would be really cool.
Bro, watch your back. Bro, I got your 6.
Like literally my 12-year-old grandson.
My nephews were never nice to me. I had a 6-year-old kid, my little nephew Tai. Okay, they would let him play Modern Warfare. Okay, and this kid at 6 years old was killing me with a freaking survival knife.
That's my granddaughter. My granddaughter, like her brothers never let her get her turn. They're horrible to her. And she gets on there and she literally like slaughters everybody. She has no clue what she's doing. She's just hitting buttons and moving the trigger, and she's literally killing everybody. I mean, then she played Fortnite. And she literally came in 4th place on Fortnite. You know why? She hid in a bush through the whole game.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah. my little niece, she was young, and they got that Grand Theft Auto, and she kept begging me to play that game with her, and they just let her play it. And I'm sitting there, and I'm on there, and she's telling me to go and do this mission and do that mission, and I did it all, and I got all this money. And I went to the bathroom, and the moment I got out of the bathroom, I sat back down, and she had spent every single bit of the money that I got from these missions. And I said, "How did you do that so fast?" And she said that she went and got on a merry-go-round, Ferris wheel, freaking, and paid for it. And she took all that money that I did, and she squandered it to go on a Ferris wheel in the game.
Okay. That happened to Raphael with Fortnite with my grandson Noah, where Raphael had built his skins, he had his character, he was like pimp to Mac on Fortnite, you know, like undefeated. Da, 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 da. My grandson comes over and Raphael's working. He says, "Grandma, can I play Fortnite?" I was like, "Well, let me double check with Grandpa." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." Da, 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 da. Sign him in because we have passwords on everything because Noah's like the safe cracker. And literally, when Raphael got back and went to play the game the next day, I think he assumed that Noah was going to use his own character. Oh, no, Noah used his character. Raphael had like a treasure chest full of money that he bought. I mean, it was hysterical. Noah bought like this little UFO vehicle to fly around in, and this Ruffy's like going through all his equipment going, "What the hell? Where's my money? Oh my God, why do I have a UFO?" It was, I was on the floor laughing because I'm not a gamer. I mean, I am into computers and technology. The only game I ever really truly enjoyed was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3.
That was just because I had a blast laughing, and it just Mario Kart. And there was one for Sega called Hydro Thunder. I loved that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ralphie's definitely the gamer. My grandkids are definitely gamers. My daughter's a gamer, not me. I'm like, nope, got better things to do with my time.
Well, you guys know about me. I'm infamous. Like when infamous comes out of me, dude, something just takes hold. And
Not today, Satan.
No, it's not even Satan when it comes to infamous. Okay, now infamous, like he's a wild man. Dude. You are like, very well infamous out. And you guys have good night. Things go crazy, dude. I'm infamous. OG 1973. You know what I mean?
Nice. Well, you can probably hear Raphael yelling at the TV right now.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, I mean, it's just, and I'm talking about like even in conversations, like my gamer friends, they tell me to calm down, and the reason why is I get into like rapid retro games with him, okay, and he wants me to do all that Mario Brothers stuff, and I'm like, dude. What do you think I am? You think I'm a fool? I'm gonna sit around playing Mario Brothers and freaking he had me play this one game where there's little baby words in there where they have baby talk and stuff. And I was like, dude, I am not playing a freaking game about baby talk. Like these little babies.
Not Patapoon. Patapoon?
It sounds like it. Yeah.
Where you gotta it's like a musical game. You gotta there's a cadence basically that you've got to do the buttons to. It's called Patapoon. It actually was really high rated if that's the game. I mean, it's like 20-year-old game or whatever, but it sounds like
PewDiePie or something like that. Yeah, and he actually got me to where I actually played Pokemon, dude. Because I would not play Pokemon, and I played Pokemon Yellow.
Oh wow!
You know, do you remember Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so my son, as an adult, got really into Pokemon Go to the point where I actually smacked him in the head with his phone because he would drive me nuts. He'd come over and he'd be in my front yard with his phone sticking out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language. But
one of the things I let him in on was you realize that it's a giant CIA
Yep.
Venus flytrap,
right.
right?
That's
The
right.
guy who actually wrote the program for Pokemon Go wrote the keyhole program for the satellite systems and GPS. So, yeah, you may want to not give that program your location.
Not so
I knew
much.
people that would drive around. I mean, good God, you got enough of a life that you own a car and you're whipping around Pokemon
Right?
Go for half the day. Wow.
Yeah. Well, think about all the robberies. You were up there in New York, MC. How many reports did you guys have of people getting robbed in freaking parks because of that game?
Pokemon Go and Geocache. Geocaching is the other one where a lot of people got robbed.
Mm-hmm. They
If I
were.
remember wisely, there was it could still be going on actually. There was a court case in some European country because of data protection issues on Pokemon Go.
I
I met a couple of Marines? No, they were Air Force guys because I used to work right next to Travis Air Force Base at a tattoo shop there, and they came in, and dudes were like overwhelmed with this whole game thing. That's all they talked about. And this was right when I started really getting into the whole disclosure thing. So I had like a bunch of stuff up on my walls in my tattoo room and stuff, and I was like, yeah, man, I can't wait for disclosure. It's gonna be rad. And they both like completely shut up, and I was talking about like silence. It was super awkward. Yeah, it's my
it's so
Go
interesting.
experience. Mm-hmm.
Sonia, it's so interesting because you had asked me if I wanted to have your friend on the show, which I am delighted to have him on.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you, I'm kind of I've been sewn into that community in a big way with the Montauk survivors.
Yeah.
And one of them is actually very local to me, and I got to know him pretty well at the event. I like him a lot.
Oh, great.
But he was looking to, because his name is kind of starting to really catch on. He's been asked to several events. He goes, do you know anybody who's doing an event that might want me as a speaker? I'm trying to get the word
you're
out
talking
there.
about Draco, yeah.
Yeah, Draco.
Uh-huh.
I like Draco.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, I said, so up until COVID for like 5 years, I said my show was hosted on a man named Russ Hoslodge's site. It was called Odyssey.
Okay.
I said, and Russ is actually the CEO and I guess you could say caretaker to Gene Roddenberry's charity foundation. He was actually a writer for the show Star Trek.
Okay.
And when Gene died, he left this foundation behind, and Russ took it over with Gene's son. And so I said, he just announced literally yesterday that he's putting a convention together for September of 2026. And so I reached out to him knowing that Drago's looking for work or for platform.
Yeah.
And said, well, Russ, did you ever think to integrate? Because here's the thing, a lot of these super soldiers and a lot of Trekkies believe that Star Trek is actually not a vision of the future, but a rendition of something that already occurred.
Yeah.
So I said a lot of these super soldiers believe they are connected to not necessarily the Federation, but like Star Trek echoes a lot of their experiences. Do you ever think to bring a super soldier to a convention or a couple of them and have them speak as that realistic side? That I'm telling you, because that full disclosure thing is really catching on.
That's a great idea, for sure.
And Russ, that's what Russ said too. He goes, so in other words, the fantasy versus the reality.
Wow, that is great. That is exactly actually what, sorry, I got excited. That's exactly what Christian talks about, because they make it all into this fantasy thing. Like his story's it's based on like the Stranger Things,
Uh-huh.
So, and it was what really happened to him. So he gets frustrated sometimes because they make it into the narrative's made into such a big, huge fantasy, this and that, and shit that didn't even happen. So,
that's on purpose. We both know that.
Can I kind of butt in on that a little bit? Because I do want to, like, this is where I get to be all cool and stuff and say something. I honestly, and this is not being too proud about it, but I think I did the best interview with Chris Lettier out of anybody I've ever heard. So if you ever get a chance to go through my interviews on Wow Talk, you can check it out. I mean, I did a very thorough 3 to 4 hour interview with him. Okay, and if you just want to check out what he has to talk about, freaking check that out. Because I mean, it was well, Raph was there. Raph actually can tell you about it too. He was there for
Sweet.
some of it, and
Well, it's,
well, Mr. Edworthy too, but he doesn't like to talk about aliens and.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
well, I can say that, like with Drago, Drago's still. You can see there's a lot of trauma there with him.
Mhm.
Like I was talking to him about Rocco Fowler, who, as we all know, was a fiasco on my show.
Oh,
And
yeah.
for several days after my show was a fiasco. And Drago got this look on his face. He goes, "Oh no!" He goes, "You stay away from him." And he goes, he was one of he goes, he was somebody who enjoyed it. Like he was in charge of some of the torturing and stuff like that. He goes, "Oh, I know who you're talking about. I remember him." And I'm like, I looked at him, I said, I actually believed his story. I said, which I told him many times, I believe you. I said, but he's one of these people where it's like he's trying to clean his soul, but his soul is so divided. I said, there was so much damage done to him. Like, I don't think somebody's born inherently evil. I don't think that's how that works. But I think that because of trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma, you can mutate a person. And I said, he's got this like split personality. I said, and he'll tell you that he has alters. And Drago's like, no, alters are real. I said, I agree with that, but I can also tell you that nothing ever is out of your control unless you let it be. I said, and that is the truth of it. You give into it, you allow it. I said, and I actually ended up having to block Rocco because he was threatening my life. And
Oh my God, yeah.
some of the other girls from full disclosure, Soma and Ada and different girls that were involved in the Montauk thing were telling me, he's really dangerous, you need to be careful. And I started laughing. And they're like, what? I said, you feed him all this power. Why? I wouldn't give him an ounce of my power. I said, I have no fear of him. And I told him that straight up. I have no fear of you. You think you have energy, buddy? I can run energy around you 50 times and not even
That's
play with fire, play with the old fire.
Right.
That was the show from last year. The one
Mofo
that
don't even know.
Yeah, the one that I missed out on. I remember having a conversation with Roger afterwards, and I saw the text on Skype, and Roger had a really sort of time with him himself. I actually deliberately missed that show because I felt there was something up. I felt I was quite uncomfortable, hence why I missed that. So yeah.
It's funny because he was as most of you guys who are on here probably know, Jason, I don't think you've been here long enough. Sonia, I don't know if you were in enough times to actually witness it, but there's one person in this chat that I am retardedly protective of, and that is Vicky. And he made the big mistake of going after Vicky. Yeah, that was his last mistake in my chat because I won't have it.
I seen that in chat, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Vic because Vic can stand on her own 2 feet. Believe me, she's quite the little tigress when she wants to be.
That's your girl. That's your girl.
That is my girl, and I don't appreciate people taking advantage of the fact that she's a very good person and a very nice person who's trying to help him. But especially not in my chat room. I mean, I said to Ralphie, there's very few things that'll make me see red. That shit will make me go red fast. Because I said I will stomp it right the hell into the ground. and not even
it was insanity. It was really insanity there.
He was,
well, and he's like, I'm a hacker. I'm like, oh yeah, good luck with that. I mean, I can be a real bitch when I want to. So.
Chris is really excited to go on your show, Nancy. I just wanted to.
Oh, I'd love to have him on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said,
He's looking forward to it.
I think it's so interesting. And I mean, again, I do have a personal connection to it. In fact, Drago freaked me out because I read his background story when I was talking to Russ. I'm like selling him to Russ. And Russ actually agreed with me. And I was like, listen, this guy died. He had a death experience. I said, and during his experience, I said, I freaked out when I talked. I've talked about it a million times on my shows, and you guys will know this. He saw what he called the grid, the universal energy that connects everything. And guys, what have I told you a million times? When I dream, I surf the grid. It is a grid. It's a field of energy. And it's like a spider web. I can't describe it, but I can tell you what it is. When I read that, I said to him, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I said, are you serious right now?
Well, you've heard of that 100th monkey, right? 100th monkey.
Yes.
Effect?
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
where these monkeys, I just want to say real quick, if maybe somebody hasn't heard about it, these monkeys were on an island. There's no way that they could have taught the monkeys on the mainland this technique. They were washing their fruit off. They didn't like the sand on the fruit. They wanted the fruit, but they didn't like the sand so much. So they taught some of the younger monkeys how to do this. And the older monkeys, they weren't really feeling it at first. And then they caught on and they dug it. And like wildfire, the ones on the mainland started doing the exact same technique. And that's when scientists knew there's something to what Nancy's talking about with this grid, with possibly all different beings or whatever, or all the same grid for all the same beings.
Yeah,
Well,
in fact, that ties
about
into the monks at where they had the monkeys come in, and after the monkeys had watched them for so many years and so many generations, they started going into meditative trances too.
Yep. Well, like I said, there's a truth to telepathy. And people can roll their eyes and do the circle jerk, whatever they want to do. There's a truth to it. And genetically speaking, we are set up to do it. And that's what I've always said. Your DNA, you need to look up how DNA is, how it's built, what it's comprised of. It actually is built. It's a superconductor. And it's like you can compare it to the designs of a superconductor. It's identical.
Well, I've been talking to you about the cosmic weave, man. I mean, that's
that's the grid.
That's the grid, and it's like take a look at the freaking the oh god, I'm a brain fart. The brain. I always talk about it all the time too. Not the cerebellum. It's the two freaking eggs in your head.
Pituitary gland?
Isn't that the cerebellum?
No, it's
Or the limbic,
Okay,
system?
wait.
The
You've got
limbic system?
the cerebellum. No, it's the.
You have the
It's a limbic
pineal
system.
gland.
Prefrontal cortex.
Now I'm gonna have to.
Amygdala.